All right, this shit's got to stop. I'm to be honest. This shit has to stop. What we're talking about in this video today has been driving me crazy for a long time. And it's the latest small example in a long line of just stupid things that people get mad about. Like, I understand why on the surface you would see that and get mad about it. But if you just think about it for a second, it shouldn't really bother you that much. And that's this idea that footballers, that soccer players, that when they lose or when they're involved in a major tournament, that they should do nothing, that they should have zero life, that the idea that they would be doing anything other than sitting in their hotel room and brooding, than breaking down film for 12 hours is just somehow offensive to other people. But I should probably tell you what I'm angry about before I go on this actual rant. So the United States lost to Panama, right? I, as well as everybody else in the United States that watches soccer, at least, is attempting to emotionally recover from devastating news, considering how much I'd been talking trash going into this tournament. So really just devastating news for me as well that the U.S. happened to lose this game. And it was, look, there were a lot of reasons that game was lost. No excuses. The U.S. cannot lose that game. Right, but there are some times, ask Argentina against Saudi Arabia, right? There are sometimes you play a team you should dominate, and for whatever reason, on that particular day, like the U.S. did, you get a red card in the 18th minute, and the team is listless, and you lose the game. And that's what happened. They had a really bad time. It means the U.S. probably has to beat Uruguay in order to get into the knockouts in the first place, which is not the place you want to be in at all. So U.S. Twitter is having a meltdown about that, and the debate at the same time. So it was a really fun night on U.S. Twitter because you went straight from U.S. sucks to U.S. sucks, basically. It's just this straight trajectory, just bowling down. We're just checking all the boxes right out. And then this picture surfaced, right? This picture comes out after the United States blows it against Panama and is just absolute trash. And it's a picture, and look at this picture. This is Weston McKennie. And it is, if you click on it and zoom in, this is a sneaky, it's got that your phone's been in your pocket for a while kind of, blur to it. It's all smudged, right? This is clearly just where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. You just I'll take my mouse. It's like under your arm, and you're trying to get the right angle and you're like, yeah, totally freaking got it, right? And you take this picture of Weston McKennie. This is after the match against Panama. He is apparently if you trust the tweets, at a hookah lounge, right? This is Will Keegan here tweeting this out, says he's at a fucking hookah lounge and bar during the tournament. Insane, right? Now, this is all coming out. It's been tweeted out a bunch of different times, as you can see. And there were some reactions to this that went pretty viral in U.S. Twitter spaces about how he doesn't care and this and that. Now, I'm gonna build out a layout for you because there are players that will do stuff like this, and when they make it public, that's when it's a problem. Right now, let me explain that, because if you just take that one sentence, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you lose to Panama and then you go to the club and you post a 20-minute Instagram story of you just lighting it up at the club, just bottles for the table, sparklers, shirtless, or wearing a vacuum-sealed shirt that has leopard print on it or something. Just the most reprehensible clubbing experience you could possibly have. Right in the middle of an international tournament, right after your team lost a huge game, that you can be mad about. Because they are giving the outward appearance that they don't care, that they're unaffected by it, which you don't want. You want your players to care. You want them to be affected by a loss. You want them to be not distracting from the tournament. And if let's say Christian Pulisic pops up at a club and posts that 20-minute Instagram story the night of the loss, it's tone deaf. It's insane. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, right? Because clearly whatever these guys have been doing to get up to this point, they are professional. Weston McKennie is the guy who's this example. He was according to Italian media, not according to my own blustering support of the U.S. national team, he was the best midfielder on Juventus this past season. Right, legitimately beloved over the past year. The things that I would get tagged in from Italian media about how great Weston McKennie had been playing. He really rebuilt his career this year. We're talking about somebody that plays at a super high level. A level that 99.99999% of all of us could not even possibly imagine playing at. This guy does. And he didn't go on Instagram and go, oh, I'm out here with my potato chips, absolutely tearing it up. Yeah, don't give a shit, bro. Like, he's not posting that. This is one picture that clearly this person didn't want to get caught taking of Weston McKennie in what does, that looks like the hookah thing, right? For lack of a better term, in just kind of a lounge. Just like, I'm going to be honest. What's he supposed to do? I know hookah is not technically the best thing for your lungs, but you're telling me there aren't a lot of other professional footballers at the highest level that don't smoke sometimes? Something, whatever it is. Like none of the Dutch footballers stop by Amsterdam and they're like, that coffee shop looks all right. They don't, okay. Not everybody's Ronaldo. All right, not everybody's Tom Brady, where every second of every day is ergonomically designed to create the most ideal athletic specimen of all time. Right, as Jack Grealish said, Erling Haaland spends 10 hours a day working on his body. If I did that, I would go insane. Jack Grealish said that. Jack Grealish, at least until now, is a longtime England national team player, most expensive British player ever. And no matter what you think about how he has turned into kind of a one-trick pony at Manchester City, still an important member of a team that won the second ever treble out of England, right? In one of the best teams, if not the best club team in the world. So he's somebody that is also a good example of the fact that being an actual human being is kind of an important part of being an athlete to a lot of these people because it allows you to blow off steam, right? And I'm sure, Weston McKennie gets in fights on the field for the U.S. to suggest that, like this tweet, the original tweet with the picture, these players don't give a shit about the U.S. men's national team, to suggest they don't give a shit about the national team, stupid. Like it's dumb. It's like obviously they care. Should Timothy Away have been smarter? Should the team have played better? Absolutely. But you lose a tough game to Panama, and you get a few friends together, and it looks like he's at a table with a few friends. You got a guy over here, you got a girl next to him, and I think girl over here, right? Just like a table of a couple friends. And you're like, oh, dude, I need to let off some steam. And you go chill at a hookah lounge for an hour or two. I don't know how long he was there. Right, but this isn't like an explosive, unbelievable, awful, reprehensible activity he's taking part in. Right, he doesn't like the post. I'm sure the person that posted this initially would have said it if this was what was happening. It doesn't look like he's hammered. Right, it doesn't look like he's doing anything illicit. It doesn't look like he's doing anything terrible. So to say that this is indicative of our culture and lack of accountability is crazy. Like if Weston McKennie starts not showing up to training, if Weston McKennie starts playing like he's out of shape, right? If Weston McKennie's form starts to take a nosedive and it correlates directly with a bunch of sneaky pictures of him smoking hookah, then maybe we can start to have a conversation. But to be honest, the only real issue is that once that team left the field, we don't like to think about what these professional athletes do with the rest of their time. Honestly, that's probably because most of them are terrible people. But all I've ever heard about Weston McKennie is that he's actually a lovely guy, right? Like I've been invited to a thing for the U.S. Federation before, which was awesome, right? And got to talk to a lot of the people involved and meet a bunch of people. And nobody has anything bad to say about Weston McKennie at all. He seems like a wonderful dude. He's a fun-loving dude. In the offseason, he's going to party, right? He's got a little bit of that Jack Grealish thing in there, but he's not a bad guy. Everybody loves playing with him. And I don't understand, like, he loses the game to Panama, then I feel like it would almost be worse for your mental to just sit in your hotel room and just stew in that, right? Because you got a game coming up against Uruguay in a couple days, right? So go out with your friends. Don't do anything that's going to damage you for the next couple of days, like staying up until 5 a.m, but go out with your friends. Have a dinner, maybe a glass of wine and some hookah or something. If that helps calm you down, right? And that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. And extrapolating out from that this is emblematic of the terrible culture of the U.S. I wish I could do that. I wish I could look at this picture and be like, we all suck and this is why. But no, we just lost to Panama. That's what happened. Lined it up for 90 minutes, got a stupid red card, got out CONCACAF. They fouled us a bunch, and we couldn't handle it. And we lost to Panama, right? And hopefully whatever Weston McKennie's doing is helping him get his freaking mind right so we can go play against Uruguay, right? But we got to stop doing this, right? Because there is a difference between people that, are missing training and clubbing until 5 a.m, and some dude just having dinner with hookahs on the table. He's just being a human being here, man. I don't know what else we want Weston McKennie to do in this situation. Oh, hell, if they win against Uruguay, I'm going to make him smoke hookah after every game. Damn, that's my new solution.